When I was 8 years old, I tried alcohol for the first time in my life, and I liked it. Slowly the drinking increased, and then drugs were introduced, and I was a pretty functional addict until I was about 16.
I was raised in the inner city, and I started using alcohol and other drugs at about age 13. But then when I got to college, I flunked out largely due to my using. Then I went into the Air Force, and within a year I was discharged largely due to my using. I got fired largely because of using. And I didn't have a whole lot of coping skills to cope with grief or anything else, and the drugs had stopped working to a point that I was actually dreading waking up in the morning, feeling pretty suicidal, and trying to figure out ways how to take me and my daughter out.
I've been in and out of treatment throughout my addiction, and attended a publicly funded detox center once that got me sober housing. My addiction took me to homelessness, restraining order from my parents, loss of my driver's license.
I spent about 18 years of my life drinking really heavy and causing a lot of chaos in my life and everybody else's life. I've been to jail 4 or 5 times, and bogged up the court system and cost the taxpayer all kinds of money with my out of control behavior.
Then I entered treatment and was supported, was educated on how addiction is a disease and how I need to develop a sober support network to help me maintain my sobriety. And I've been doing that for the last 15 years. Without treatment, I think it'd be a detriment in our society. There'd be a lot more jails being filled and hospitals being used for people that have no services at all.
My counselor asked me one day if someone I loved had cancer, would I shun them? And I told her, of course not. It's a disease. It's not their fault. And she said, if they had diabetes and had to use a needle every day, would you not be around them? And I said, well, no, that's silly. And she said, well, if the doctor told you you had cancer and you needed to have chemotherapy for 5 days, would you be late? And I said, absolutely not. I'd be there every day. And she said, why? And I said, because that would save my life. And she said, you have a disease just like cancer, just like diabetes, but unfortunately there's no chemo for you. There's no surgery that can remove your disease. There's no shot you can take every day. This is your treatment. And you need to be selfish and you need to take it seriously. And I did. And I've been sober for 23 years. I've raised plenty of people like me, and I know plenty who live today because of that and have raised healthy, productive children and have great marriages, great relationships in their lives, and are hugely successful and have went through school, got an education, and are very productive, good productive members of society.
And start putting the tools in place that I had learned when I was in treatment. I own my own home. I'm a taxpayer. Raised my daughter. I retained custody of her. She completed high school, and I put her through college.
I just want to say that myself, I've benefited from treatment services, particularly detox. I don't think I'd be alive right now had it not been for the services offered in those kind of facilities.
How to be a part of society and be a good steward of the things that are offered, in our society, and to be a part of a community. And for me, that's what my life is all about.
I've interacted with and worked with hundreds of people who are actually sober and clean and productive tax-paying members of society and putting back into society, who are that way as a result of treatment service.
I've become a responsible and contributing member of society now. Life is good.